このレコードは従来の常識を打ち破った演奏なんです。それ行け
！Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending another Manhood Academy debate. We have a special guest by the name of the guest who you didn't know, or the guest who didn't know, versus Professor. And we will again be debating the rape topic. And I believe our guest listened to one of our previous debates and wants to create better points, and we're eager to listen to what he has to say. And as always, we will alter the voices. We will not show the video portion of this debate. Guest who didn't know, do you agree to have this video posted or this debate posted with your consent, please?
Do I need to give it?
Yes.
No, the debate's over. Just say no. It's over. It's over.
Considering the topic, I think it's kind of funny that I have to give my consent.
To be raped, you don't actually get raped during this debate, so it's okay. You can give consent.
Okay, yeah, I give my consent.
Let's make this a feminist debate. Wherever I touch you during the debate, I'm going to ask permission. We're going to sign something. Sign a piece of paper.
All right. Also, if you need to appeal to the moderator because you didn't get a point across, please tell me. I will stop the debate right there to make sure that you had your point clarified and brought across.
Okay.
All right. So,
I have some questions.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I have some questions.
Okay.
Moderator, I'm concerned that this gentleman may be of subpar intellectual abilities, and I'm concerned that this debate will become very ghetto. I would like to know whether my opponent is of the London variety of ethnicity of his race or of the more urbanized variety in the United States of his particular race, because I'm not sure if I should even talk about his particular race, but I'd just like to know which to prepare my vernacular accordingly.
From America.
Okay. All right.
Wait, are there a lot of black people in London?
What's that?
Are there a lot of black people in London?
There is a black population there.
Oh, interesting. Didn't know that. All right.
We'll try to keep it normal.
Okay.
So it's not going to be Bonics, and it's not going to be too highbrow. Do you agree to that, Professor?
Fuck. You know, on one hand, yes, I do agree, but I just like to let it be noted that I protest this debate right off the bat.
Well, duly noted. So let's go ahead and start the debate. Guest who didn't know, please begin.
All right. If guest you didn't know becomes too long for you, you can just call me guest.
Can I call you something other than guest? Because guest has a silent T at the end, and I don't want to say guest, because I end up saying guest, like guess who. So
okay,
I'd like something else.
Does that work?
What's that?
How about G? Does that work?
G. All right, G. Yo, G. I knew this was going to be a ghetto debate, Blue. I knew it.
All right.
It makes me call G.
You can begin.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to open with what up.
What up, Manhood Academy?
What up, G?
All right. Okay. This debate, the topic of this debate is obviously floating around. It was the video you had, the debate with, I forget her name. It was Candy, I believe. Where you debate a so-called feminist, and she cries and rage quits at the end. It's about the debate. Debate was about rape.
Oh, one of our very first rape debates, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's the right. I'm across the field. I'm on the opposing side, so I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm gonna have to side with her.
Are you actually a devil, or are you just playing devil's advocate?
I'm playing devil's advocate.
So you actually agree with us?
No, I agree with her. I'm gonna have to oppose you guys. I like your debates. I like your style. I like a lot of what you stand for, but I'm going to have to play devil's advocate this time because in that debate, I have to...
Okay, you're not advocating for the devil. You are the devil in this case. Let's go.
All right, Is that how you see it? Okay, let's go.
You're not acting on behalf of the devil. You are the devil. You're not playing the bad guy. You are the bad guy.
Yeah, okay. We could say that, sure. Okay, from that debate, you guys were basically in agreement halfway through until about 19 minutes.
Well, it was more of an interview in the beginning. It was actually supposed to be an interview, and it turned into a debate at the end.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed in the beginning, it was very pleasant. It was very, just back and forth, and then it got to the subject of her rape, and then it got hardcore. It actually started out very pleasantly. I'm surprised you didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for informing me. So
what? I got to inform you about the debate that we're having that you're supposed to be listening to before we even start?
not the debate. Thanks for informing that it was an interview that turned into a debate.
Okay, all right.
Anyways, when the topic of rape came up, I was interested in hearing where it went, and that's where I had to stand against you guys because.
And of course, you listen to all our other videos about the rape. You listen to other debates we held concerning this very topic, right? Like other people challenge us exactly on that interview. You've listened to those, okay? I'm sorry, not okay, but I'm asking if you've listened to those.
Yeah, I listened to all of them, took some notes.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is...
Wait. I want to hear your notes. I'm interested in hearing your notes. Like, what parts did you pick up on? I'm interested in that.
Oh, well, up until about 19 minutes in the debate where with the interview turned to a debate with the feminists, with the rage at the end, up until about 19 minutes, you guys were basically in agreement. About 21 minutes, that's when the case of rape and relationship came up. And 22 minutes, you guys debated accountability, and that's where, who holds the accountability? Does she do it? Does the boyfriend?
But I'm specifically referring to the other debates where other debaters were also bothered like you are, and so they brought their arguments. Did you take any notes on their arguments? Or the weaknesses, strengths of their arguments, etc.?
I did. I found their arguments to be, I gotta be honest, I found their arguments to be kind of weak, because basically they came up with the whole, it's not rape because, there has to be consent, but then when you said that, because of what she's wearing, that, it provides incentive for attention to come her way.
Okay.
And because of that, that's why, she's accountable. And after you said that to them, they basically faltered and said, well, I guess it was their fault. So I really didn't get anything out of them.
Okay.
But I got something new.
All right. I can't wait.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm glad that you took notes. You sound educated. You sound like you're a guy who at least has some inkling of what direction he's going, and that's always a bright sign. That's always a good thing to hear during the debate. I don't like to hear guys who just, they just want to get it on and they have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
Thank you. Okay. So, I want to start off with a question. My first question is, why is there no such thing as rape in a relationship? That's my question.
Rape in a relationship. Okay. Because rape in a relationship it's a huge problem. It's almost like talking about divorce. Speaking of divorce, I just got a text from somebody who's going through one. Like the divorce industry. Okay, there's a whole industry that's cropped up around divorce. You got lawyers. You got columnists giving advice to people about divorce. You have social pundits in the media talking about divorce, what you should do. You have people writing books about it. So you have a whole industry, millions of dollars being generated around this concept of divorce. It's almost like saying, we need to make an industry around the concept of killing people. So let's say, I don't even need to be hypothetical about this. We have the military, right? So with the military, we say, well, we're making a whole industry around killing people. But that's really what it is. It's not, we like to dress it up in euphemisms like we're not going to war, we're defending our country, or, we're defensive, we're the Department of Defense, we're not the Secretary of War, we're the Secretary of Defense now. So we like to dress up what we're doing to make it more palatable to people. So there's this whole industry around killing people. We train people to kill, we recruit people to kill, we get better weapons to kill, we improve our technology to kill. So it's all geared towards this very absurd, morbid notion that we need to be more efficient at delivering death to our opponents. It's normalized now. We have the military. It's a normal thing. Most of our budget goes to the military. It's a very normal thing in this country. It's even frowned upon if you even dare to examine this. We're in the business of killing people, but say, oh, how dare you talk about our service veterans that way? You're booed. Whenever you speak about the military, you always get cheered. Woo! He's a hero. The guy's a hero. Woo! It's a guaranteed cheer, right? When you say, I care about the vets and their sacrifice, automatic cheer, right? Nobody even thinks to question it. So we've gone through this whole effort. The same with divorce. We now have this whole industry that's just preparing for divorce. We have prenups in place. But what people don't understand or fathom, because our culture is so childish, is that a relationship is not two separate people. A relationship is two people joining to become one person, to live one life. It's not, I live at my house, you live at your house, and we just fuck occasionally. Just some people think of it as a relationship, but the majority of people realize that once you start falling in love and get into a serious relationship, you get married and all the whole 9 yards, it involves drastic life changes. You have kids together, you fuck, and your sperm mixes with her egg, and you have a human being that's growing that's two parts, right? It's part of you and part of her. So it's a very serious thing. It's not just a haphazard thing, even though we make it into a haphazard thing. We just say, hey, fuck a girl and throw on a condom. Hey, fuck as many girls as you can. Date around. Girls, you're gonna date 2 or 3 guys, 4 or 5 guys during college, and then you're gonna fuck a couple guys, some guys are gonna break your heart, then you're gonna find Mr. Right. I mean, this whole notion of dating, of joining people in a relationship is so cavalier. Relationship is like, it's like creating a family. It's creating a family. And, hold on, let me mute my chat room here. Motherfucker. Wouldn't you know that cocksucker's in there? Yeah, why don't you ask questions, you cocksucker, instead of just clicking on the link? Sorry, I'm talking to one of our students.
That's okay.
So there's this whole notion that you're forming you're creating a relationship. You're forming an actual family. You have kids and whatnot. So it's this very serious thing that's happening, but it's very trivialized. And when we make these industries around these abnormal activities, like we have the military for delivering a better killing blow to our enemies. We have the divorce industry, a better way of dividing up families, dividing up assets. And we just normalize this really absurd, abnormal, morbid behavior. Yet not even considering what we're doing, what we're doing when we're entering into a relationship, right? What does it mean to form a bond? It's like saying, I have a mother and a father and brothers and sisters, but I gotta mitigate for a rainy day or form contingency plans because I know 5 years down the line I'm gonna have to get rid of my mom and dad and get a new mom and dad, get rid of my brother and sister, get a new brother and sister for whatever reason, right? Just planning on that. Just consider that. If you had, your family, a lot of us come from broken families, so that wouldn't be hard to imagine, but in a normal family, you would think, okay, I have some definite affectionate feelings and a definite affectionate attachment, some loving attachment to my siblings, to my mom and dad. The thought of just haphazardly dividing them up just seems so absurd, just seems so out of touch with reality, and yet that is our experience today with divorce. So because we have normalized this the breaking up of a relationship, also on the other side, the other problem we've created is we've devalued the whole point of a relationship. So I mean, if let's put it this way, I'm not 100% against your proposition that rape is possible within the context of a relationship. Say if you're married, boyfriend or girlfriend, something of that nature, where you're in a serious romantic relationship. I would allow it, but under the condition that we hold both parties accountable, which we don't do. And that's why I've typically said there should be no ability, there should be no legal recourse to say that that somebody got raped during a relationship, because it creates too many other problems. It's like saying, well, we got to divide up the kid. Do we cut him in half? How much? Do you get 3/4 of the kid? Do I half the kid? Right? It's like saying that. So we get to this absurd point where we're trying to really put a Band-Aid on something that is cancerous by nature. It's something that shouldn't have happened in the first place. Divorce shouldn't have happened. If you've gone in this relationship, it shouldn't be so easy to get divorced, right? Getting divorced now is, just a little paperwork being filled out. So that's a huge problem in our culture, and it creates all kinds of other problems. So okay. I would allow for a divorce if there is also a legal way to hold women accountable for their own behavior, for fraud, for neglect, for other types of things. A woman was able to sue a guy for monetary damages in some France or something for not meeting her sexual needs. So we see the feminist court system is rigged towards women, towards accommodating women and their bullshit emotional criteria for injustice. So, for example, I've had some stupid bitch we recently talked to sent me death threats over text saying, I'm gonna find you and fucking kill you. And I said, bitch, shut the fuck up, And I sent her a text back, I said, fuck off. She said, I'm gonna report you to the authorities. Now, imagine that. What type of woman would say, I'm gonna kill you, be completely oblivious to her own threats, and yet still have the gall to say, I'm gonna report you to the authorities? What type of mindset does she have, and what type of culture would we have to create where a woman could be completely oblivious to her behavior and yet hypocritically make these types of demands on me? Well, we'd have to be in a culture that doesn't hold women accountable, number one. And this is not just one woman. I mean, we have, from long ago, we had a debate with a woman several women who have threatened, women have threatened to press legal action if we release the debate after they gave consent for us to record the debate. We've had women threaten in a written debate or actually have reported us to the authorities. Some stupid bitch posted a picture publicly on some website of her kid. We blocked out the face of the kid, it was just the back of the head of the kid. You couldn't possibly fucking identify it, but in her mind, oh, you're endangering the life of my child, I need to tell the authorities. So we see so much hypocrisy on the side of women because women are never held accountable for their behavior. She's not held accountable for posting her kid's the back of his head, but still, she posted it publicly on a public website. She's not held accountable for that. But if I post it, she wants me held accountable. So we live in a culture that perpetually holds men accountable for both parties. So no fucking way would I ever allow, unless, there was some way that we could start holding women accountable, but in the culture we have today, we don't. So that's why we say, no, there should be no possibility for a rape. When a woman enters into a relationship, a romantic relationship, she's made her own bed. She needs to lie in it. What do we tell guys all the time? Man up. Be a man. It's your responsibility. Do we even bat an eyelash when we say, men gotta sign up for selective service. So if there's some kind of war, men can be conscripted into the army against their will. Sorry, you signed up. You agreed. You're a male.
Okay,
what about women? They got a free exemption, right? Free from the legal system, right? No responsibility. So why is it that men continually have to bear the accountability for both genders if women supposedly are equal to men? They're obviously not our equals. We have to treat them like little babies. And we prove this every time in every practical way you can think of, from dating to divorce to marriage to the military to the economy. Every fucking way you look at it, women are babies and are coddled by the legal system.
Professor, I'm going to stop you right there because I think you answered the question.
I don't think I answered it thoroughly enough, but
I think it was pretty thorough. Did guest you didn't know or G? Are you satisfied?
I'm satisfied with that. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. I'll say it first, then correct me. So you're saying that a sexual assault or a rape could happen in a relationship to man or woman, but if it happens, both need to be accountable for their partner, correct?
I would say it shouldn't, number one, in the current legal system we have, in the current culture we have under feminism, I would say no, it shouldn't be possible at all. But if you're forcing me to agree to allow for the prosecution of rape, I then think we should, I would only allow that under circumstances where we change the culture. So you're asking me for a lot of change. You're not asking me for one change. You're asking me for one change tied to a myriad of other changes. So if we are going to hold men accountable here, fuck it. I'm starting to hold women accountable everywhere too. If you're signing up for Home Depot, you can't lift the minimum 50 pounds required. Fuck you. You don't get affirmative action. Get the fuck out of the job. You can't meet the full military requirements, the same physical standards that men have to go through. Fuck you. Get out of the military. You're not qualified. So I want to hold women accountable. If we want to start talking about rape and being very legalistic and ignore the spirit of the law, we want to stick to the letter of the law, then I want to hold women accountable to the letter of the law. I want to start prosecuting more women.
Okay. That explains it. My next question was, why should there be sex in a relationship? But I think you kind of hit it there too, so that's why I kept you going on, because it's going down the list, and you've already got like 2 or 3 out of the way with just this one I asked, but alright, this is
the best debate I've ever been in. This is so fucking sick.
I'm glad that's for you, okay? Next question I got for you is
this an interview or a debate?
Yeah, it's an interview or debate.
It's a debate. I'm trying to find a differing point. Okay.
Well, okay.
Don't you have a disagreement about our opinion?
Yeah, what is your specific disagreement? So when you listen to the debate, what did you disagree about?
All right. What do I disagree with?
Yes.
I disagree with, despite the fact she entered a relationship, despite the fact that, she laid out her terms and decided to, bunk with the guy and stay with him, all that, it was explained in the video. I mean, it could be, whether she was telling the truth or not, I can only kind of go from her word. I say more fault is on him for physically imposing himself and harming someone than her, because it's like, okay, I'll say it like this. You can be you can kind of act a certain way, you can be a retard, you can...
Okay, I think, let me answer your argument, because this is a common argument which I actually haven't answered in a full way, which I will do now. A lot of people, when they're talking about...
Yeah, go ahead.
When they're talking...
Under 3 minutes?
No, because this is a complex argument.
Okay.
This is a big argument, so I'm going to address it. I'm going to try to address it as fully as possible. A lot of men get duped because they've been poorly educated by the feminist system to view things in terms of actual sameness as equality. So, for example, if a woman can do the same amount of push-ups as a man, she's just as good as a man. That's how men view things today. They view things just according to outward appearance. So, for example, men are more sexual than women. So different libidos, different.
What happened?
What's that?
Sorry, you froze for a minute. I couldn't hear what you said.
I'm here. Okay, I said men and women have different libidos. They have different sexual drives, just according to their genders. Okay, men have a much higher sex drive than women. But when we look at the criteria for sexual assault or any kind of sexual activity, we always view it from the women's sexuality. We don't take both sexualities into account. We don't take a man's libido, a man's gender into account. We use women as our standard. Because we always talk about exposing yourself. We talk about rape. We talk about these are like one-way crimes. Women are a different gender. They act differently. For example, when men get angry, they lash out. They're angry. They focus their anger outwardly. Women generally focus their anger inwardly. That's why they become the cutters. You know, the people that cut themselves, things like that.
Yeah.
Women manipulate with their bodies, whereas men can physically manipulate. They can push you around. They can bully you. Women can manipulate with their bodies. Women get other men to do their bidding. So women, the way they carry out their aggression is different than men. But yet again, we always measure things by female criteria. We say, when it's a fight, we always go, it was a 90-pound woman versus a 100-pound man. Do we ever talk about the emotional abuse from the woman? Do we ever talk about the social abuse, the shaming from the woman? No, because we always view things in terms of a woman and how it would benefit a woman. So already our focus is wrong. We're all focused on women. We don't even account for the genders. So, but the problem is women do this hypocritically. Like, for example, when it benefits them, they want to talk about equality and equal qualifications. But when it doesn't benefit them, like in the case of sex, rape, sexual assault, sexual culture, rape culture, etc., it's always viewed from a woman's point of view, a woman's sexuality. That is the criteria we use. We don't use a man's sexuality to talk about sex. Otherwise, we'd have a whole different legal system. So the very fact that we base everything off of women is indicative of our emasculated culture and how men are raised by women and taught to think like women. That's why when we talk about, the fairness, this guy's bigger than her. Of course he's fucking bigger than her. Men are supposed to be bigger. It's genetic. It's biology. So we can't talk about, he did, like, when you talk about Chris Brown, right? Chris Brown beat Rihanna.
I heard that story. Professor, is it alright if I cut you off right here?
No, because I want to make this point, and it'll be aptly made by this last example. Chris Brown beating Rihanna, we look at the gruesomeness of the bruises inflicted by the man who's bigger. We don't look at the violence in proportion, like how Rihanna has been taking advantage of Chris. We don't look at any of that. We don't look at the police report say she slapped him before, manipulated him before. We don't look at any of that. We don't look at his emasculated culture growing up. We don't look at any of that. We just look at the physicality. Her bruises were bigger than his bruises. The bruises he caused her were bigger than the bruises that she could cause him. So again, our criteria is all geared towards women. It's a woman's point of view. It's not a man's point of view. It's not even a fair point of view because we're comparing apples to oranges. And this comparison is unfair from the get-go. It's not even just from the get-go. So this is the problem I have when people make statements like, well, he abused her, therefore. You're not looking at the genders. You're looking at physical things. So either you have to be consistent. When you look at a job, you either look at gender or you look at their end qualifications. Well, we do both, but only, again, when it benefits women. We look at gender when it benefits women, and then we look at physicality and things like that when it benefits, like when we talk about sexual assault or Chris assaulting her, we look at the woman's point of view, how it benefits her. That determines how we look at it, whether we look at it according to gender or whether we look at it according to qualifications.
Okay, I got you right there. But that's where I have a disagreement with you, and you explained that quite well, but my disagreement comes from kind of like the old saying there's like a yellow flag with a snake on it, it's all scattered and whatnot. It says, don't tread on me, and that's where I understand completely where, the justice system is completely out of order, it's out of whack, and I can't debate you on that because I agree with you on that. But where I'm coming from, that's where I'm playing devil's advocate on her side is because yes, she was in a relationship, yes, she started it, yes, they're both in it, but there's a whole idea of treat others how you want you to be treated and don't tread on me.
Okay, you're saying treatment. You're talking about the assault. I mean, if I have a bigger body and I'm...
Well, no, not that. I'm saying she laid it out on the floor right there that this relationship, is like a courtship. We're trying to get to know one another. We're trying to get to explore one another, figure out one another, and see if we are compatible in the long term.
Right, okay, but we should be looking at the treatment, but comparably speaking, meaning we shouldn't look at the end result, like what they're physically doing to each other. We should look at the treatment, like within the context of their gender. Meaning, if a woman treats a guy how she wants to be treated, she's affectionate with him and tender with him and cooks him dinners and things like that. Whereas a man, conversely, showing affection back to her, isn't doing the same things. He's going out to work. He's protecting her. He's telling her yes and no, what she should be allowed to do and what she shouldn't be allowed to do to protect her in the relationship, right? So the way they're showing affection for each other is not the same. But even though it is how you say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If I'm caring for somebody, I'm caring for them according to my ability, according to my gender, not according to the same activity, which is the notorious mistake that everybody makes in this debate, is to always look at things from the point of view that benefits women. Either we look at same qualifications or we look at gender. But whatever case we're looking at, we're always saying how this benefits the women, not what is fair, what is just in a comparison.
No, I'm not trying to step on her side because she's a woman. I've seen news articles and stories on television where an abusive woman was in a relationship with a guy, and he's had bruises. She's attacked him with tools, and
but again, you're looking at physicality. That's outward. Yeah, that's looking at the physicality. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, no, let me backtrack. Let me clarify it for you. What I'm saying is, the guy in that relationship that was abused, whether it was through cuts and bruises to flat out poisoning or emotional manipulation or whatnot.
Right.
What I'm saying is, how he just expresses his love towards her, I'm not gonna regard, how he should do that or what he should go, how he should conduct himself. What I'm saying is, it's improper for him to conduct himself. Like, if he says, I want to express my love to you by making love to you or having sex or doing a doggy style or whatever,
right?
He should deal with her about that, because by sexually assaulting her, bruising her, doing that, it's like...
Okay, again, you're bringing up... So you keep saying, I'm not talking about that, but you keep talking about bruising her, doing this to her physical... This is the exact same thing I just talked about. So you're completely ignoring my point.
Well, how am I ignoring your point? Because I'm saying, if they're in a relationship, there should be the understanding that they treat each other equally. I mean, if he starts abusing her when she's
but we're talking about abuse. I mean, are we considering how she's abusing him? Are we considering that she's sexually manipulating him from the start of the relationship?
I can't tell. She didn't say anything, but...
She didn't say anything. Obviously, you didn't listen to the debate. You don't even understand how male sexuality works. Men are sexual. You shouldn't even be allowed to get into a relationship as a woman if you're not ready to have sex. As a guy, same thing.
Wait, sorry, you just went out for a minute. Your mic.
You shouldn't be allowed into a relationship if you're not ready to have sex, because relationships are for sex. That's part of a relationship. Just like saying kissing is part of a relationship. Just like saying eventually hanging out in the same house, the same apartment is part of the relationship. These are just par for the course. If you're not ready for them, you're not ready for a relationship. If you get into a relationship and you're not willing to fulfill the obligations of a relationship, you're taking advantage of the other person. You're manipulating them. How come we don't harp on that on the women's side? They do that all the time.
All right. Are you talking relationship in general, or are you talking adult relationships? Like mature adults?
Adult relationships, yes.
Adult. All right. If we can say if maturity is a factor in here, what about teenagers? Should teenagers expect sex in a relationship?
They shouldn't be in relationships. If they're not ready to have sex, they're not ready for the things that come along with sex, possibly babies. They're not ready. If a guy's not ready to be in charge of a girl in a relationship, he's not ready. I don't know any teenager that's ready for a guy that I've met who's a teen who's ready for a relationship. I mean, they're ready to fuck, but they're not ready to manage a girl in a relationship, let alone their own life.
So if her boyfriend in that relationship was not ready to manage that relationship, does he bear...
Well, then we have two dummies. It's like saying we have two drunk people. How do we go by blood alcohol content? Who drank more? I mean, we have two dummies in a relationship. We have a guy who's immature and not ready to be in a relationship. We have a woman who's immature and not ready to be in a relationship. How do you hold two dummies or two retards accountable?
Okay.
What do we, 52, 49, 72, 40, and 4 halves? I mean, how do we do it? It's so impractical to even think in those terms. That's why I don't think in those terms. I exercise an ounce of prevention. Just like I say, if you stop subsidizing single mothers, guess what? Some kids are going to suffer. Some single mothers are going to suffer. Right? And people go, oh, that's unfair. No! It's unfair, the current system we have now that is poisoning society and creating monsters. But if we start cutting off the funding to single mothers, guess what? Women will have less incentive to become single mothers. So there will be less people suffering in the long run. See the prevention angle? Yes, we're always, how do we mitigate the suffering? How do we get rid of the suffering? How do we alleviate the suffering? But that's only like short term. If we give the starving single mother some money, right? Because she's a single mom, we feel pity for her. We go, oh, the child was born and he's not even part of this, so we got to save the children. She fucked the children. Why don't we just blame her? The child suffers because of her. It's going to happen, but we need to have that suffering so the next people realize they shouldn't do that. If there's no punishment for it, people will keep doing the same stupid behavior over and over and over. So by alleviating punishment, by alleviating consequences, all we're doing is creating worse future cases. The legal system we have now, you notice how it's not solving these physical, relationship problems with women? Why do we have these now more than we need slut walks to take back the night? Well, if it's so great, why isn't it fucking working? It's not, because it's one-sided in nature, and it creates bigger problems because it completely creates a culture of women who are infantilized and can't fucking be responsible for themselves and yet want to be considered adults. How can you possibly run a society like that? It's cursed from the start. So any fucking program where you put a Band-Aid on a symptom, it's not going to help the fucking root cause, the cancerous cause. It's not going to do anything to solve that. So just saying, oh, we got to hold this guy 50% accountable and this woman 50, or this guy 80%, her 20%, not going to fucking solve the problem. It's still going to create worse cases. You're still going to have abuse of a very gruesome nature, of a heinous nature, because you haven't solved the underlying problem. Just because we, put a Band-Aid on this legal situation here, it doesn't solve the problem. I'm in the business of solving problems, not creating bigger problems. If I was wanting to create a bigger problem, I'd say, oh yeah, we hold the guy 70% accountable and her 30% accountable. That's not going to fucking solve anything. That's going to create a future problem, a future bigger problem. Because guess what? When you don't allow guys to have justice, they become violent. Look at protesters. Look at protesters around the world. Occupy Wall Street. Any type of government. Let me think of an oppressive government like Egypt. People are getting the shaft. The government's giving their people the shaft. They get violent. They get out of control. They get restless.
Okay, so while on the topic of relationships, I got this to ask you. That it's gonna be kind of, you're pretty firm in your belief, and I respect that. So, guys, I'll pin you with, try and see if I can pin you with this one. As far as relationships go, well, do you think, would you say, is it possible for a guy to be in a relationship with a girl and either one to not want sex or vice versa? I mean, either way, which way, I don't care. Any type of relationship.
Possible?
Yes.
Sure, there's a lot of sexless relationships, a lot of guys floating around the friend zone, but these are abnormal relationships. These aren't even normal relationships. It's just a parasitic relationship. It's a girl sucking off attention from a guy who is pining after her. Or if you're talking about a relationship where we're boyfriend, girlfriend, is that what you're talking about?
Okay, I'll specify for you then. Okay. So, yes, boyfriend, girlfriend now. I mean, romantic, mutual, sexual, that kind of thing. I mean, they're in love with each other, that kind of relationship then. Would you say it's possible for...
Would you say it's possible for two people in love to have a relationship? They should.
To not want sex in a relationship.
What? That's like saying, we're going to be in a relationship, but we're not going to see each other. Yeah, I suppose it's possible, and I suppose people have long-distance relationships, but how healthy are those, and how well do they work out? How well do sexless relationships work out? You're talking about, like, exceptions to the rule. Sure, it's possible to stick yourself in the eye with a knife and live, but it's not likely. And it's not a normal course of action. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody. Even if it works, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a normal course of action. It's not going to work for the average person.
What about guys who have girls that are friends? Do you think guys can be friends with girls?
Ah, that's fucking bullshit.
What about
every guy knows that. What do you think guys go around and who do guys form friendships with? Fat, ugly chicks or hot chicks that they want to bone or that they want to get in a relationship with? Who do they make their friends? They go, oh, I can't wait to be buddies with that fatty. She's probably stays home a lot, probably really well read, and probably talks a lot. Can't wait to be buddies with her.
I've seen both, man.
Oh, you've seen both, really?
Yes.
Does most guys here look for fat, ugly chicks to be friends with? Is that how that works?
They friends with? They turned out to be friends. Yeah. Hell no. Negative.
Got a lot of guys here disputing you. Are you sure are you straight, heterosexual male? Or are you different?
I don't even talk to fatties.
This guy's very blatant. He doesn't even talk to fatties.
You don't have any girls? You don't have, anyone, since you
Ty
asked.
Wallet, if there was a fatty on the street, would you waste spit on her, or would you just not even spit on her?
It depends. Spit on her and run away, but... Yeah.
I don't want to fucking discard anything. I'm just going to walk past it. Dude, any female friend I have, if she's not fat, I'm going to want to fuck her. Even though I'll tell myself, no, we're just friends.
Actually, we befriend the fat girls when we can't bone the hot girls. So we befriend the fat girls.
Look, I mean, when guys form friendships with girls, there's a problem with their own relationships with guys. For example, I mean, you could here's some circumstances that aren't even set circumstances. Let's say I have a girlfriend and I have a girl I work with at work. In her mind, we could be friends, But in my mind, she's a girl I haven't fucked yet. I might not even be attracted to her. I might be into my girlfriend. I might love my girlfriend. But let's say we break up. If there's a potential, and she's got a pussy, and I got a cock, sex can happen. So,
okay, so
if that's a possibility there, what's that?
So, sorry to interrupt you, but I gotta say, so, because she's a girl that's attracted to you, you instantly want to form a romantic/sexual relationship with her?
Why wouldn't I, as a heterosexual male?
I don't know, I mean, what if she's someone you can't really live with, in the same house?
Well, I'm not looking to move in with her, but she has a pussy, it's wet, it feels nice when I close my eyes.
Okay, so you're just looking for a sexual opportunity then?
What guy isn't looking for a sexual opportunity? Why do you think we have hookers? Why do you think we have porn? Why do you think guys beat off? Well, what do you think this is? Do you think this is an opportunity right now? If I get beat off, is that an opportunity? Would you call that an opportunity?
If you want to beat up to guys looking at you beating up, I guess.
I'm not, the guys looking at me are irrelevant. I'm talking about the actual act of beating off. Is this an opportunity?
Yeah, it is, I guess.
So do you take the opportunity or not?
No.
You don't beat off at all, is what you're telling me.
You mean right now? I thought you were talking about right now.
Oh, yeah, I like how guys get all fucking befuddled when you talk about something that's like a normal habit for 99.9% of guys. You ever looked at porn?
Okay, no, I haven't. Okay, so you're asking me.
So you never beat off and never looked at porn. I don't even know how I can have this debate with you.
Okay, no, I thought you were asking about the beating off thing. I thought you were referring to,
Have you ever fapped? Have you ever masturbated? Have you ever looked at images of women naked?
Yes.
Why is it pulling teeth to get you to admit to something that every guy here has done?
It was not pulling teeth. I thought you were talking about right now. I was mistaken.
Oh, you thought I was asking if you're beating off or looking at porn right now?
Yeah.
You're really that dumb. You thought that's what I was asking about.
Whatever. Okay. I gotta say, I disagree with you there because I know quite a bit of guys. I've been in quite a bit of clubs in high school where I was friends with chicks, attractive, and I didn't find so
you didn't want to fuck them at all, right? If they wanted to sit on your face, or they called you up and said, hey, I really am horny right now. I want you to come over and I'm going to suck your cock. You'd be like, sorry, babe, we're just friends. Can't do that. You wouldn't.
Yeah, I would do that.
You would do that?
Yeah.
What? That is shocking to hear. That is absolutely shocking. You're an opportunist. You shocked me.
Have you ever seen
you
Big
shocked
Bang
me.
Theory?
What?
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 Have you ever seen Big Bang Theory? Yeah.
Wait, say that again?
Like, you know the character Sheldon Cooper?
Wait, say it. What did I say it from the beginning? I didn't hear what you said.
Have you ever seen a show called The Big Bang Theory?
The Big Bang. No.
Some of your students have. There's a character on there. His name's Sheldon Cooper, and he's pretty much almost.
Is that where the nerds get together with the hot chicks?
Yeah.
Oh, I know the premise. Okay, I think I've seen a clip of it. Yeah. Okay, so you're using the show to prove your point. How?
I'm saying some guys are like that, like Sheldon. They don't really want to. They admire women as friends.
Oh.
But if we're going by TV shows, then some people shoot lightning out of their fingertips. Who cares?
All right, I'll use another example.
Some people are vampires.
I'll use a real life example then. Nikola Tesla. He never married. He never had sex.
I guess he didn't want to.
No, he didn't.
Michael Jackson never had sex either. I guess he didn't want that either.
What?
I like how people read a story about some guy in a book, some guy that's so far removed from them they might as well be like a Jackie Paper, and suddenly they know they're an authority on their life and know exactly what they're thinking and feeling.
Oh, I'm not saying, I didn't say I was the foremost authority on him, but every source I've read, I haven't seen him take a woman or marry or anything. So from what I know,
how well is this documented? Were they there inside his head, inside his pants? What kind of sources have you read on him? Most of the sources talk about his inventions. They don't talk about his love life. What sources are you reading? Is there some book called Tesla's Love Life that I'm not aware of?
Okay, let me say, I saw a PBS special and I read
PBS special. Oh, fuck. Where did they get their sources from?
Called the Wizard of Electricity.
I hate to break it to you, but the media isn't always genuine with its audience, and it doesn't always tell the truth. Many times you get bullshit.
Well, okay, you're right. I'll give you that, but I gotta be honest.
Give
right
me
now,
that. Thank you.
You're right. The media does stream a lot of bullshit sometimes, but as from what I discovered, I haven't found anything where he wanted sex. I mean, a lot of...
What have you looked at? What publications? The Tesla Sex Weekly? What are you reading that's his personal life? That documents his personal life?
Did he have sex?
What publications are dedicated to Tesla's sexual history? That's what I'm asking.
Well, I'm saying it was in a biography someone wrote about him.
In a biography someone wrote about him. Someone.
I don't know who wrote the book. I read it.
I don't know who wrote it. I don't know who said it. Okay, guess what?
I wrote
I'm gonna write a story right now in the chat. Hold on. Tesla fucked 500 bitches last Wednesday.
Dude, you're crazy.
Last Wednesday. There you go. There, I just wrote a fucking biography that contradicts the biography you read. Now he's a pimp. Now what do you have to say?
You have sources to back that up.
I'm the source.
How accurate is your source?
How accurate is somebody writing a biography? You don't even fucking know who it was.
They interviewed Tesla.
They. Oh, my source is he. Yours is they. Mine's he. How's that?
Would you like me to find the document, find the source? Would you like me to find it for you?
Not really, because if you're not fucking educated enough to know what kind of point I'm making, you're not educated enough that to know that they're not going to fucking harp on Tesla's sexual life. I mean, what biographer do you know that just is like is so privy to everybody's sexual encounters before the age of TMZ that's just so accurate? I mean, even we have speculation about one of our presidents, JFK, with Marilyn Monroe, but it's not like set in stone. It's still a lot of speculation. Nothing's just black and white. There's no like definitive proof of them fucking. So the fact that you're taking this as the gospel truth is indicative of your own poor education. That you're just going to take some guy who wrote a book. I fucking wrote a book. I'm an authority on everything now.
So can I attest myself as, and I'll say this then.
I just asked you if you'd fuck some of your friends that were females. You're like, yeah, no problem.
No, I said no. I said I wouldn't.
You said no now.
No, I never said I would. I said I wouldn't.
Oh, you wouldn't? Okay. Because I mistakenly heard, and I think the whole audience mistakenly heard that you would. So you're saying your female friend, who's your current female friend?
Let me
who's your current female friend?
Okay.
Who's your current female friend?
I can't give you.
Give me a alias. What's her name?
Stacy.
Stacy. Okay. So if Stacy wanted to come over and suck your cock right now, you of course would reject her and say, "No, you're not allowed to suck my cock."
That would be my first choice. No.
That would be your first choice. No. What?
Okay. Let me say. I would say no, but if on the off chance that I decided to have her do that.
Wait. Why would you possibly decide? I mean, what do you mean the off chance?
Because she has herpes.
What's that? What if she doesn't have her? So herpes is the only considered reason why you wouldn't have sex with her. Oh.
I thought it was because she was his friend.
I know what happened to the friendship. I don't go, well, I got a buddy here, Blue, and the only reason I don't let him suck me off is because he might have herpes. But if he didn't have herpes, I'd let him suck me off.
What? You let him suck me?
I think what he's trying to say is my mind says yes, or my mind says no, but my body says yes. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. Well, okay, I said on the off chance because it's possible that I would say yes. I would say, okay.
Blue, can we get some audience opinions before I shoot myself in the face? Let's just go around. Let's take a little break. Let's take a little breather. Let's take a little breather, and we'll just go around and get some reactions to this maniac.
Wait, can I respond to the audience, or is it just them?
Why don't you wait till they respond, and then you can comment when they're done. So let's just go around the room and get some opinions, get some views.
Sure.
All right, Chewy.
Yeah, I used to have a very similar view. Like, I'd be friends with so many girls, and I would just lie to myself all the time and think, oh, they're just friends. But then, really, when I came to this academy, professor said, like, are you really just friends, or are you just hoping for the chance that maybe
why
you'll have sex with them one
why
day?
do people have to be downloading?
Once he asked me that, I realized I'm not really friends with them.
Oh, thank you for
You guys hear me? No?
You're not friends with any girl.
He's definitely not friends with his internet connection.
I never was.
Okay.
All right, let's go to...
Does it work now?
Yeah.
Does it work now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
All right. I would text some girls. I would maybe talk to them, but when it came down to it, they didn't really care about me because once I came to this academy, and I told myself I'm not going to contact them for a few weeks. If they're really my friends, they'll ask me if anything's wrong. And none of these girls ever contacted me again. I'm still waiting years later. They weren't my friends. They would just use me, for attention, or I'd buy them gifts sometimes, food.
Hang in there, bro. Don't come back.
Hang in
Yeah, they
there.
never came back. I'm waiting 3 years later.
Chewy, that's a harsh story. I feel sorry for you. Maybe they
I
became
feel sorry
friends
for
with
you.
Maybe they became friends with Guest. They left you and they became friends with Chris.
Oh, hold on. Who the
All
fuck
right,
is
somebody has a
Sheffer?
really fucked up
Yeah,
microphone.
Feek,
so
stop
whoever's
fucking
shoving
beating
around,
off during the debate.
Your mic. All right.
Feek, stop beating off during the debate. All right, he stopped. He finally stopped.
Mikey Mike, you're up next.
So, your whole argument about how, guys you have girls that are just friends, and, guys can just be girls or friends. I don't believe that at all. Maybe there's exceptions to the rule, but generally speaking, for the majority of men, I don't believe that. And if a guy is friends with a girl, it's because he wants to fuck her eventually at a point. I have friends that I've talked to that, they'll break up with their girlfriend, and then they'll come tell me, like a week or so later, like, oh my god, dude, I can't believe my girlfriend fucked her friend and this and that. And I just be like, well, I mean, what did you expect to happen? So guys are there pining and just waiting to fuck girls.
You ever had an experience like this? Like you have a girlfriend, I mean a girl who's a friend, quote quote, and you have a bro over who sees her for the first time, and you guys look at each other. Do you guys, when you look at like the girl comes in the room, right? Okay, you have your girl who's a friend, right?
Yeah.
Veronica, she comes in the room.
Veronica looks at the guy, and
You have Veronica comes in the room. You
Yeah.
say to your friend Jim, who has never met her, he comes in the room, and you go, "Hey Jim, this is my buddy Veronica." And then Veronica goes, "Hey Jim, nice to meet you." And she's like, blah, blah, blah. And then she leaves.
she's
And
pointing over Jim.
then now you're standing there with Jim, and of course Jim in his head is just thinking, "Oh, that's a great friend you made. It's just like Bill. Reminds me of just like Bill, right?" Is that what guys think when they meet their guys' girlfriends? Is that what they think? It's, "Oh, that's Veronica. Yeah, just like Tim down the hall. Oh, it's just like Jeff at work, right?" Is that what they're thinking?
Now, is that what you said? Is that what I'm thinking?
Is that what, I wonder what the other guy's thinking. I wonder what they're both thinking.
I can't say what they're thinking, but I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I'm not a mind reader.
Maybe you should have an honest conversation with your bro sometimes. Maybe you'll find out.
They're thinking, what color is her panties?
Yeah.
Yeah. That example might have been too complex.
Yeah, it might have been way too complex. Sorry.
They're actually thinking if they want to fuck her or not. That's what they're thinking.
All right, let's go to Poser.
I like that name.
Jaiwala.
You like that name? Okay. I have a lot of names.
It's not the same.
So initially I was impressed that you did some homework, you were paying attention.
Poser, are you eating the mic? What's happening? Why is it so jacked up?
Hold on, let me reduce the volume.
Oh.
I was all the way up. There you go. Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. So initially when you're in the debate, I'm like, black guy, you prepared. Awesome, I'm impressed. You just sound like you listened to previous debates, made notes. But then towards the end, it's like, what the fuck happened, man? Like, you lost it when it came to the female friends thing. I'm like, I thought this guy was, like, paying attention and getting it, and you started using examples of how I met your mother. That means, and then some exception to the rule, Nikola Tesla, and you're using that so strongly to make a point that you can have female friends, and it's like, does this guy have a nigger moment right there?
A nigger moment? What the? This guy just said the N-word in a debate. Moderator, can we bleep that? Can we bleep him from the Academy? Is that possible? He just said nigger moment in a debate.
My friend.
An official debate.
Yeah, I mean, if you have hot female friends, I'd like to make friends with you so I can bang your female friends, man.
All right, let's go to Death by Porn.
I think this guy is a fucking liar. Either he's a liar or he's completely out of his mind.
What'd you say? What'd you say? Carl, say it. What?
I think you're a liar or you're out of your fucking mind. Because like even if you're not lying and you genuinely can be friends with girls, if you think that's the way the majority of guys are, you are completely off your fucking rocker. Because like just look at the way society is structured. Look at advertising. Why do they show hot chicks on advertising boards? To get male attention, to manipulate male sexuality. Why is porn like consumed by 99% men? Why is sexuality, like I said, used in advertising so much? And it's like, even if I see a girl, because I have been in high school, I've been friends with girls before, I know what it's like. And I genuinely fool myself into thinking, she's my friend. Well, even that girl where I see her as a friend, if she bends over or something, and I get a nice shot of her ass, immediately, I'm thinking about fucking her. Even though I'm still considering her as a friend, I can't hide my sexuality. I can't delude myself from that. I'm still gonna want to fuck her, even though I view her as a friend. So when you tell me, like, if one of my hot female friends called me up and said, you want to suck my cock? Or, hey, can I suck your cock? And you'd say no? I'm like, you're fucking weird.
I got a perfect example that I forgot about this bitch. One time, I think it was, it might have been high school, might have been a little before high school. There's this girl is like, one of those girls that's not even in your hot mind category. And you have your girls who are like hot, you want to fuck, you want to be girlfriends with, boyfriend, girlfriend. And then there's other girls that are just like, ugh, or you don't even think of them in a sexual way because you're still young, or it's just like, they haven't entered your mind as the girls you want to fuck. But then, we had the sleepover party and everything, and I'm just hanging out with her in the same room, and nobody's there. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I wonder what her tits are like. I wonder what it'd be like to fuck her. Like, you just start thinking thoughts sexually, even though she's not on the fuck list at all. Not, like, super hot or anything. But now I'm like, I want to be like fucking her. Like, why would I have those thoughts? We're just buddies. And, we're just buddies. It's not like when I'm hanging out with one of my bro friends, I go, what would it be like sucking his dick off, right now? Or just, you don't have, because it's a totally different dynamic when you're with a guy than, when you're with a girl. It just, the very fact your gender is there, another gender is there, it changes the whole dynamic of the relationship. So, guys who think that they're just buddies with girls are fucking fooling themselves.
All right.
So, Professor,
Yo.
I think this point needs to be cleared up. So we always say a guy can't be friends with a chick. What is friendship to you?
Let's go to the audience first, and we'll cover that. Let's get back to the audience first.
I'm not done.
Pinata.
Wait, hold on, Blue. I'm not done with my
Oh,
reaction.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, hold on, what's your name again? Yes, what were we calling you?
G.
Okay, we're calling you G. G, you came in for an interview like 2 weeks ago, and we had this exact same talk in the Hangout, and we went over these exact same points after the professor was done talking to you, and I can tell it went in one ear and out the other. So this debate was very, very disappointing. Because you started off well. Because you started off well. I thought, oh, this guy's going to bring up new points in a different way. He took notes. He listened to the debate. Hold on. This is a black guy who has his shit together. And then I come in here. It's the same thing. It's like, nope. All right. In one ear, out the other. All right. Whatever. Another.
Oh wait, can I respond to that? Just to him, DBP.
Yes.
All right. It looks like the same thing, but I'm going to show you, man, it's not, because like that time I was, I gotta be honest, I have a little touch of the social anxiety, so I was really, nervous about, coming on the internet and making some enemies, so that's why I was trying to, I was over apologetic and all that, but now I'm like, all right, I'll come at you, and my game's different now, so if this debate...
What does that have to do with us talking to you about male sexuality and what I'm saying going in one ear and out the other? Like,
all right, let me continue with that. I'm saying I'm gonna try and give you some. What I'm basically trying to do is I'm trying to give you something to think about in this debate. And I know we haven't really been on that track, but believe me.
What happened to the first half of the debate? What were you doing then?
I haven't. I'm listening to you. I haven't went through half my arsenal yet.
Oh fuck, he's got more.
This shouldn't even be called debate. It should be called Manhood Academy interview number.
This should be called bad comedy. Who's next, Blue? Let's go. Keep going.
All right, are you done, Death by Porn?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you, Pinata.
I used to think like G before I came to the academy that I would be able to make friends with girls, but like inside of my head there was always like, I wonder what it would be like kissing this girl. I have a friend who's like, I've known her since I was like 8, 10 years old, and during this time that we've known each other, I started calling her my sister. She was my sister. No, she's my sister. I don't see her that way. And I would convince myself that she was my sister. But whenever she turned around and whenever she would wear like a tight dress or some tight pants, I'd be like,
I want to fuck my sister.
What
would it be like to fuck my sister?
Exactly.
My cousin.
Then
that's disgusting, Pinata.
I had another friend, right? And he would tell me the same thing. He's like, yeah, I see Josa. Her name was Josa. I see her as my sister. And she's like one of the guys. Bullshit. They ended up fucking.
What?
Does that mean?
He fucked one of the guys?
Apparently, right? Apparently.
You didn't get any?
I don't know how they did it, but they both have a penis. I mean, I don't know how it happened, but you see, you can't. As much as you want to convince yourself that you can be friends with the girls that you are naturally attracted to, you'll keep just fucking lying to yourself. You can't be friends with a girl that you think is attractive. You are not attracted to friends. That's not a friendship.
All right, I got it.
Period.
That's interesting. Thanks for that. That was interesting.
All right, let's go to General Butt Naked.
These debates, they're always hard to...
I like this guy's start. Let me compliment General on his start, all right? Number one, I'm already paying attention. Congratulations.
Thank you, babe.
These are always hard to comment on because they're more educational for me because there wasn't really much of a debate. I thought he had some good questions.
I do.
But when he starts running out of gas, that's when, as DBE mentioned, then he starts to just bullshit himself and grasping for straws and coming up with movie quotes and shit. But the whole asexual portion of it, I find that amusing because as he speaks, we have a whole pickup community of guys paying millions of dollars to fly all over the damn world because of a story that starts off with, she just wanted to be friends. So that in and of itself tells you, men do not want to be friends.
Case closed, my Negro.
To go to another country to learn from some asshole who's going to tell you to do a bunch of routines to a woman over and over again, and you're willing to do that, you do not want to be friends with a woman, okay?
All right.
I think this guy just made the best debate point of all time. Congratulations, General. I was impressed.
Fuck, I missed it.
My vote's for you, General.
Thanks a lot. All right, let's go to Mansion.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Only thing I want to say is about DB when he talked about the chicks up on the advertising billboards. Yeah, I never looked at a chick up on an advertising billboard in a bikini with all tits hanging out and shit. I never said to myself, man, I bet she'd make a good friend. And I can see us chilling out.
I can see us playing Call of Duty together.
We're playing Call of Duty together.
Oh, booty.
That's all. That was a powerful point.
That was a powerful point. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, Sean, you're up next.
Hey, guest. I think you're a closet heterosexual.
Oh! Sean! Shut it down! Am I allowed to go crazy like a black guy? Ah! Shut it down! Sean! Sean! I'm out of my mind, Sean!
That's the burn of the year.
I love it. Okay, well, listen here. There's a few things that I wanted to set
Sean!
down. Girl, I kind of like you. You seem like a very lucid guy. You have points that you stuck to. You agree with what Professor says, and I agree with everything Professor says too. But then,
Great, we got a cult going. Thanks for confirming the cult.
but besides that, I kind of lost interest when you started talking about Nikola Tesla as representation of what you think is the normalization, or at least the existence of asexuality in males. That's the point you're trying to make, right?
Not necessarily, but I'm using him as an example of, not all guys want sex.
Okay.
I'd like to talk to these guys.
Yeah.
0.00001%.
The reason why I bring him up and that I got bored is because instead of Nikola Tesla, the only person whose experience you can really have a deep knowledge of is your own. And according to what you say, you necessarily might fuck these chicks that you say you're comfortable only being friends with. So I believe that I think like myself when I was in high school, that you desperately want these girls, but you are too terrified of the rejection or the pain that might happen if you go after them. Therefore, you're willing to stay in the friend zone and enjoy the kind of pseudo acceptance, the kind of just the friend zone, because in that way you still do enjoy some acceptance from these girls, and you're kind of fooling yourself that that's all you want in order to avoid really facing these are my needs and it's my responsibility to get them fulfilled.
Fuck yeah, Sean. That was fucking powerful. I want to put it in the record. That was fucking powerful.
What was his name?
Sean.
Like his screen name? What was it?
Sean.
Oh,
Sean. Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I like that response. I really do like it. I gotta disagree with you. Like, if you would have hit me 3 years ago, I probably would agree with you that there and then. But after thinking about it for a while, it's not so much rejection I fear, but the reason why I'm not trying to...
I admit that might have been a stretch. It might not be terrified of rejection.
Okay, but the reason why I brought up Sheldon Cooper as an example is not to say that that's the basis for all males, but I was using it more or less to describe myself because, he's... Big Bang Theory gets like 20 million views, every episode or whatnot, so a lot of people know the character.
Okay, well, that's possible. That's possibly... That's why I started to lose interest, because you're talking about a hypothetical character to describe your own condition. Just talk about yourself. Talk about the reasons why.
Look, bring any of those nerds from that dating show or whatever, the Big Bang Theory, and I'll have them singing a different story after about a month at this academy.
All right, but Professor and Sean, just to respond to both of you, since you kind of chimed in, Professor, that is kind of my quirk. I don't like to get too close to people unless I really, have some kind of connection with them or I know them on a personal level. And someone... Yeah, a funny story. Someone once tried to hook me up with a girl, and when she came closer to me, when she was actually kind of like zooming into, I'm not sure if she was going to kiss me, press her tits against me or something, but to get intimate with me, I started backing up and saying, "What are you doing?" I got really nervous.
Yeah, but you being socially incompetent is not the same thing as you wanting pussy. They're two different things. If you had the same social skill that I have, you'd be fucking her right now.
Like, what do you mean by social incompetence?
Your inability to socialize correctly is the problem. You're looking at your lack of ability as your sexuality. They're two different things.
I think the fact that you said you want to form a deep connection with someone without getting close to them is very telling about how you view socialization. It's very indicative of the kind of social skills you have.
Elaborate about that. What do you mean?
You're saying you want to build a connection to somebody, like you want to get close to somebody you have a connection with. Well, isn't that a connection, being close with somebody? Aren't they synonymous?
I would say that's a pretty damn good point.
He's saying, why aren't they all one?
Connection without being close to somebody. It's like
they are all the same thing. It's like loving somebody eventually expresses itself in sexual activity. They're like one and the same thing. They're not supposed to be separate things. Even though you could fuck a girl and not be in love with her, but ideally you want to fuck somebody you love or somebody you want to be attached to. Somebody, why? I mean, when you find a certain girl, there's always that like pull towards her. You want to be with her. You want to form a deeper relationship than just fucking. You want her to be your girlfriend, etc. So it's a all that's tied up together. The sex is tied up to that. It's not just, they're not supposed to be separate. And there's always problems whenever you separate those things and try to just have like either just a mental, emotional connection without the physical or just a physical connection without the mental, emotional. You're going to have problems when you separate those things.
Man, how do I follow up those great responses?
They're fucking amazing. I think these are better than the fucking debate.
Even guys like Sean.
Even guys like Sean. Even Sean.
I'm making a little progress, Stingray. Just a little. No, I mean, the points have been made, but you, when Professor was talking about having girls who are friends, you said, you said this, G. You said, well, what if she just can't be, she's just not the girl you want to be with? What if she's just not right? So that tells me that, I mean, at the Academy, we learn how to change girls' behaviors. If they do something we don't like, we change it. So that told me that, I mean, I'd be depressed, and I'd probably have a lot of friends that were girls, if I couldn't change behavior, because I just want one girl. I don't want all these little satellite girls who kind of do different things, and I try to, like, suck up all their attention, and I just want one girl, and I think you do too, but you just are so maybe emasculated that you can't change your behavior. You don't think it's right. You think, oh, we're equal. We're supposed to treat each other how we like to be treated, but you got to take that higher role and make her your bitch, basically.
That was the most abstract, useless advice I'd ever heard in my life. It was so nonsensical in nature.
Second point.
Without any background about what's happening. Yeah, it sounds like just be yourself, be confident, along with like a lunatic fringe advice, like just tie her up with duct tape and
come around here more.
rape her.
All right.
So bizarre.
All right. Dude, guys need sex. Okay? If they're in prison, they still need sex.
Yeah, that's right.
Think about that, man. Think about that. You think,
He knows.
dude, think about that. You're talking about guys don't need sex. Dude, there's guys who become gay when they're in prison. Because that's how much they want sex.
The dropping pants thing, that came from prison from what I've heard.
Yeah, dude, you do that?
What? Are we in a conversation here? Making moderator? Will you fucking moderate?
I'm sorry.
Holy Christ!
I thought that was kind of his point.
Yeah,
Great point, Stingray. Great point. I want to hear from Snaky Guy.
Alright, in the beginning, I liked what you were saying, because I'm like, alright, this guy has a couple questions. It's more like an interview. You're trying to figure stuff out. You should just sign up and end of the interview. And then I felt like you jumped off the deep end and you were full of shit. Like you're saying, huh?
How? Tell me.
Like you're saying you're not gonna want to have sex with female friends, and I'm with your female friends. So I'm thinking either you have really, really ugly female friends that you wouldn't want to fuck ever, or you're just lying to yourself. And you're using to justify it, you're using Sheldon Cooper, some imaginary character who doesn't exist, and what some people said about Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was an engineer, a genius, really bright guy. We're focusing on the amazing things he did with technology, not who he did or didn't bone. No one really cares who he did or did not bone. That's not the focus of that man. And you're like, well, they said he didn't have sex. Well, someone else, that's not the point. And you're using these fringe two people to justify, oh, well, not everyone wants to have sex with women. Or not every guy wants to have sex with girls. So you point out two people. And then there's the rest of the entire male population of the earth.
Okay. So I don't mean to cut you off, man, but I wasn't trying to excuse me if I was, mistakenly trying to say that's half the males or whatever percentage. I was trying more or less to describe myself because, like, many of the fictional character.
I get that. What I'm saying is it's all bullshit, and that's not actually you. You just don't know what you're doing. You're lying to yourself.
Dude, if you were to spend 2 days with me, you would completely understand.
Dude, if you were to spend 2 days with me, you would completely understand.
Dude, can I say something? Sure.
Yes.
What if you bring one of your hot girlfriends and she sits in your lap, female friends, and we have a camera?
I'd love to see this. Bring some of your girlfriends on cam, and I'll interview them with you in the room. We'll have an interesting discussion.
That's a good idea.
Then you could prove to me how you're just buddies. This would be interesting. I'd love to have this conversation.
All right.
Then you could prove me wrong. Then you could say, shut down the professor.
Yeah. Bring your hot blonde female friends like the ones in Big Bang Theory. Hot blonde female friends?
Yeah, that character's played by a gay guy. Just throwing it out there.
I know he's gay. I know that. I know.
So he's talking about a gay guy who doesn't even like girls as friends? What? He's using that as his basis? What?
The gay guy playing the character.
Wait, the gay guy who doesn't even like girls? What?
We have students who want to talk who haven't spoken yet, and that student is Energy Drinker.
Okay, I liked that G came here with questions, even if it did get weird and stupid at the end. Future debaters, if you're listening to this on YouTube, bring questions, write shit down, watch the other videos. Because you know what? We go places when you come here with questions.
Bring your A game.
Yeah, I still have it, man.
You don't have it, son!
I think my biggest issue with having friends who are female is that what happens when you hang out or spend time with them? You suddenly realize that you're basically dating, except without any of the good things that come from dating.
Oh, such a brilliant point. Such a brilliant point, energy drinker.
It sucks, especially when you look back on it.
Why is sex the only important good thing that comes from dating?
It's not.
It's not the only good thing.
In one ear and out the other.
Like, people think that's the most important part, but you want the whole deal. You want going to the movie. You want the salty popcorn. You want to put your arm around her shoulder. You want to go for dinner afterwards. Or have greasy ass, like, Chinese food at your place while watching a scary movie. And then also have sex.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so vivid.
That was beautiful.
Man, this guy is a beautiful poet. This is like Matt Damon trapped in there.
What I'm talking about. Poetry night.
How do you like them apples?
Don't fuck with me, man. I gotta agree with this. We have a hard time debating because from what I'm getting, you guys are very sexual. Am I correct by saying that?
I think guys are pretty
You guys are males from what I'm getting.
I'm trying to be asexual.
What I'm basically saying
It's not working out.
Is somebody in charge of this? Blue? You're fucking horrible moderator. You're gonna be fired.
dude, I have a, professor.
Hey,
I'll say,
Chaiwala, can you moderate this?
Alright, I'll moderate.
Blue, give him
go
host
on now.
privileges.
Go on, G.
Okay. Professor, I'll tell you right now, I'm heterosexual, I have a libido, but, dude, I mean,
I'm not doubtful, but go on.
You have a libido, but you have no ability.
dude, I just, it's like, Megan Fox, I'll just use as an example. If Megan Fox walking down the street, came up to me and said, let's go to a hotel right over there, I'll bang you, cry crazy, this, that, whatever, I would decline.
I'd like to see her try.
Yeah.
I'd say game on. I'll take that bet.
We have to get Megan Fox.
Fine. Is that the girl you find really hot, Megan Fox?
No.
Why'd you pick a girl you
Probably
like?
pick Halle Berry or something. I don't know.
Why? 'Cause she's black?
Because she's black.
It's like Beyonce or Halle Berry.
No, look, okay.
Let's finish with the student interviews. Not interviews, the remaining reactions. Travel. Unmute your mic.
I like this moderator taking charge. Blue, take note.
So Travel's not here. Alright, we're going next. Darius. Unmute your mic.
Look at this
We
moderator
got a couple
taking
of shy
charge.
guys, but they still want chicks. I guarantee you that. So, we're done with the reactions, the student reactions.
He's busy beating off. He can't even come to the cam right now. He can't even come to the mic.
Yeah. Alright, so we're done with the reactions. Professor, you have anything to say?
Hold on, since I'm not the moderator anymore, I have my reaction.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go on, Bill.
Alright, well, I think I'm an expert at the friend zone because I came to the academy from a result of a friendship. And I genuinely thought that I was in a friendship with a woman. And I was so deluded in my mind that I didn't realize that it was a farce because I had this attraction towards her. She was a beautiful girl. And when I had thoughts of asking her out, I felt conflicted. And I was conflicted because I didn't think that a friend should have those type of feelings. But I have these feelings. I can't help that. It's my biology, it's my sexuality. So it wasn't until she was with another guy that I became jealous. And then at that moment, it was like my world crumbled. So I thought we were friends, but she was with this other guy, and it turns out I really did have feelings for this girl. And at that moment, my world was turned upside down.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Did you have sex with her? If it's
No.
too personal, you don't have to answer it. You didn't?
Of course not.
This is personal.
Yeah. No, I didn't have.
He got denied.
Yeah, I didn't have. I got denied.
You got
And yeah, my heart. It was a broken heart. So, and I was. We would go out every day. And we'd talk about school, and sometimes I would flirt with her. But I was a friend. I would say I was in your position. Yeah, we're friends. We're friends.
So just like G, you would hang out with the female friends, with your female friends.
Oh, can we conclude this?
I had a lot of female friends. I had more girlfriends than guy friends. And it wasn't until I had this realization that having this urge, this sexual urge, this attraction, or this desire for a romantic relationship, a connection, that you can't genuinely be friends with a girl like you can with a guy. With a guy, it's absent sexual attraction. I don't have to worry about going to the movies and putting, or I don't worry about certain things with guys that I do with girls.
Like being next to her, or your arms brushing or touching, right?
There's like considerations that I have with girls that I don't have with guys. With guys, when I'm in this room with guys, right now, like I'm expressing myself, and you guys are enjoying what I have to say. If a girl's in the room, I'm enjoying her face. I'm looking at the softness of her skin. I'm looking at her hair. There's things that are visual that I'm reacting to, but it's a totally different reaction from what I'm getting from her than what I'm getting from you.
So even though Snaky Guy has nice porcelain skin, you're not reacting to his face?
Yeah, it's a totally different experience.
Okay.
And so that's why we say a friendship is not a true friendship when you're with a girl, because you're experiencing her in a different way. I guess you can label it as a friendship, but in reality, it's not a friendship, because eventually there is a biological urge for you guys to be together. If you guys are always together, what's the point?
There you go.
All right, interesting. That's why I have a hard time debating you guys, because when we don't agree on, I'm like, wow, there are guys out there that think like that. I don't think that way, so that's why it's interesting.
I think you're a liar, and I think we need to have you at the academy for a little while to get the lies out of you.
All right, so let's hit back with this since we went way off.
I'm so exhausted by you and your nonsense. I'm ready to tap out right now. Do you have any closing arguments?
So wait, you said you can't be in a relationship with a girl unless you're attracted to her, right?
Okay, yes.
What if she's your sister?
What are your relationship? Oh, God. What about your mom? Are you gonna fuck your mom? It's like... Oh, my God.
You can't be friends with your sister?
Oh, my God.
I guess you can be friends with your sister technically without fucking her. Some guys have pulled it off. You got me. Checkmate. Checkmate. Okay, I want to end it on him checkmating me. He add up all the points. Moderator, can we get in closing arguments? I'll close and let him close at the end.
Wait, I still got so many more questions, man.
What? I thought you had arguments. You have questions because you want to join the academy because you're too much of a puss to admit you're a socially incompetent douchebag. You don't know what you're doing. You need help. This is not question and answer time. This is waste my time, waste the audience's time.
This is like Q&A. We do have question and answer session.
Yeah, we have Q&A at the academy. That's where you should be asking your questions.
We can direct you to the enrollment page.
Yeah, you need to go to the enrollment page, not the debate page. You're too dumb to be debating me. All right, I want to end that. That's my argument. This guy is just too dumb to be debating me. Go ahead.
Moderator. So my question is,
all right. Any closing statements other than questions that are not that valid?
I'd like to say a few closing sentences.
No, don't let him moderate. Come on, debaters.
I'm sorry.
For our guest G over here. Any closing statements, G?
Well, I still got so much more to debate about because that's the reason why I have a hard time.
This guy doesn't even know what a debate is. He asks questions 95% of the time, and that's his version of a debate. Are you kidding me?
I'm trying to get your point on something. I mean, it's hard to find where you differ and where we differ.
Oh, God.
I think we're...
Please kill me. Let's end it. Kill me.
Stinger is already on the phone. People are losing attention. This is the end of another Man in Academy debate. See you next time.